That's the thing here. Let's take a look at Nick. As you mentioned, Nick. Let's get out of that YouTube. Go here. Okay, so I put on the thumbnail. Nick's not going to win the Mr. Olympia, and that's going to upset his fans. I get it, and I totally understand that. But the reason why I don't think he's going to win the Mr. Olympia is because his structure is not as pretty as Samson's. To me, it's not as pretty even as Hadi, even though Hadi doesn't have the prettiest physique. But Hadi has that vacuum. He has a tighter waist when he hits these poses and transitions and can hit some classic shots and stuff and maneuver. Nick doesn't do that. I'm not even going to say Nick isn't the best poser out there. He's good at hitting shots, but he doesn't have the finesse and like a lot of these guys do in these shots. He's just very basic, very blunt with his poses because he's a mass monster. I get it,
Yeah.
but he can't show the aesthetics. He can't show a pleasing look to his physique. And I think at the end of the day, that's what something that has to represent the Mr. Olympia. You have to have symmetry, size, proportion, and balance. And Nick has the size. He has good proportion, but does he have balance? I think he's lacking some of that, especially with the waistline and the structure. So he's going to be shredded. And people are like, oh, well, he's so shredded though. He should do good. Look at his, he got so much muscles. He should win. Okay, but look at Louis Breed. Louis Breed is always the most shredded guy in the show. He's the most dry, gnarly guy in the show, Louis Breed. But he can't win because of his structure. And that's what the category that I see Nick falling into because of his structure. He's not going to win the Mr. Olympia. Does he have the charisma? Yes. Does he have the work ethic? Yes. Does he have the popularity? Yes. Does he have the structure? In my opinion, no, he doesn't, guys. You have to have that structure if you're going to win the Mr. Olympia. You don't just get it because you're Nick Walker and you're popular. I'm sorry. That's my little rant. I want to hear your take on what you think, Nick. Can Nick Walker win the Mr. Olympia based on the criteria that the judges are supposed to judge upon? Could he beat Samson and Hadi?
This year, no. And I think Nick knows that. You know, what I mean, he said before when he
Top
won the New
three.
York Pro, he was like, I'm going to win the Olympia, and
Yeah.
he took some criticism for it, and he did the right thing. He came back and said, you know what, I'll be in the top three. And I think that honestly, of course, all these guys are competing to win the Olympia, or else why are they doing it, right?
Yes.
Um, but it's just very tough. I mean, Nick, yes, he's not the most appealing poser, but he don't have to be. I mean, he's known as the mutant.
Every rep starts with fuel. Helix cream of rice, clean carbs, zero sugar, fast digesting energy that hits quick, fuels hard, and never sits heavy. 27 grams of pure carb power, nothing but rice and real flavor. Proudly made in Canada, built for champions. Grab yours now with code MUSCLEDISCORD. Helix Foods, fuel the work, own the stage.
Mass monster.
Mm-hmm.
Hadi Shup on presentation, I don't think nobody presents herself like Hadi Shup, but no one.
Yep.
No one does. Yep. He's the master of posing, point blank, cut and dry. When it comes to the not necessarily the freestyle posing when they get up there and pose to their music, but when they're the comparisons, man, he's just nobody can do it. I don't ever want to say Nick will never win the Olympia. I'm not Bob, so I'm not going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I just believe if Nick can just really emphasize bringing in his waist. I don't think his waist is going to be like this on stage at all. I think it's going to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
But to compete against like Derek when they pull that vacuum, you know what I mean, they show that narrow waist. It's hard to pull a vacuum though. I don't know if Nick will be able to do that because it's just too much. It's just too much going on there. But I do believe he will be shocking to say, will be in the top three, and I think he can possibly beat Derek.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. And this is where people will like to say, "Oh, he looks like the Mr. Olympia in that shot." I'm sorry, that's not how it works. I don't care if he looks like what makes him look like the Mr. Olympia because he's big and he's ripped. It's like, come on now. What are we doing here? Is this a pageant or is this an actual sport where you have to like judge on certain things? So that's where I'm like, no, man. He's gotta win these poses, and he's got to win in sheer symmetry and proportion compared to the guys he's standing next to. Because so far he's just stood next to Derek so far this year,
Yeah.
right? And he's gonna be standing next to a freak Hadi Choopan and a freak Samson Dauda. And Samson Dauda has the best structure out of all these guys. So if Samson is gonna bring in superior condition, and hopefully he brings the fullness too, he's going to win. He just by default, he should win because he has the best structure. The judges have admitted that. Tarek has admitted that he has the best structure out of these guys. So if Nick comes in and he looks more lean than Samson, can he beat him? No, I think the structure, there's checks on each of these boxes that have to be checked off. And if Samson is checking off the majority of the boxes and Nick checks off one box a little bit more aggressively than the other, which is conditioning, I don't think they're just going to give it to Nick. When Samson is hitting these massive vacuum poses and these unique shots like he was doing 6 weeks out, fuck no, man. That's good. They're going to be so impressed with the presentation of what Samson is bringing over Nick. Where Nick's just hitting the most muscular and he's doing can't hit any vacuum. He can't hit any classic quarter turn shot back. None of that. Like Derek hits the quarter back shot. He doesn't do any of that stuff. He's just hit some basic poses. You got to bring more than that. So I love Nick. He is a tremendous athlete. He's great with the fans and he's very transparent in his training and everything. But to represent the Mr. Olympia, I just don't think if all Samson, Hadi, Derek, Martin, Andrew, all these guys can really bring in their waist tights and even hit vacuums. I'm not saying vacuums are mandatory and that's what's needed, but the fact that they're all doing that now, like they did back in the 90s and the early 2000s, guys could hit those vacuum shots and bring back the aesthetically pleasing looks. And then for Nick to come in and win the whole fucking show and change the trajectory of how the Mr. Olympia looks, that's a huge thing. It's going to change. I said this before. It's going to change the sport if Nick wins. It's going to say all those fucking vacuums and tight waist. Fuck that shit. We want this big fucking mass monster with a larger waist to represent the sport now. If that's what it's going to be, then that's what the judges are going to make that decision to do. But I don't like that. I don't like that look. He looks cool. He looks big. He looks like a comic book character. But that's about it. I hate to be that harsh with Nick, but that's it, man. He's a cool dude, man. But I mean, at the end of the day, say Marcus Rule never won the Mr. Olympia, right? Dorian Yates won, yes. Lee Priest in the comments, yes. Dorian Yates won, but his midsection wasn't to the extreme that Nick's has gotten to. He still had some good shape on Yates, and just a different. No one can compare it to Yates. It's like another animal, right? So that's my kind of rant on why I'm saying Nick Walker's not going to win. If Nick Walker wins, like I said, he can win if the judges decide to make that call, but it's going to change the trajectory of the sport. And everyone can say, "Oh, Matt, Muscle Discord, you got it wrong. Nick did win." Okay, go to town, do that to me, guys, because I deserve it. Because I'm the one that said I don't think you should win. But time will tell. Time will tell. I think if he does win, it's going to be extremely controversial if he wins. And, it is what it is. So that's my call on Nick Walker. I don't want to spend, I'm really ranting on that. So let me go over to, hey guys, Matt Sinkering here, host of the Muscle Discord podcast. And I want to do a quick plug of my coaching business. I do online coaching as well through my exclusive fitness app where you have guided workouts to follow, meal plans to follow, all the macros are laid out for you, the cooking instructions. You do weekly check-ins with me, upload your photos, your measurements, and I make adjustments as needed every week for you. So use promo code Muscle Discord when you sign up and you'll save 20% off your monthly coaching fee. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.